Yeah, everyone, this is Thermites, and this is DeadTube, Volume 11. So, it's been a little while. I kind of thought we just would not get any more DeadTube, but, I mean, even this track record of uploads, not the best. But I do see that Psychoplay is getting help from a different group, and the uploader here is apparently Mashiro Mai herself, so maybe we'll get more. At the very least, I have enough hope to finish up Volume 11. Like, at the very least, I can do that. Even if we don't get anything else, at the very least, Volume 11, I can do that. And I am really excited, because it seemed like that was the end of the Justice Man arc, where we last left off. I don't know if I even have those volume or chapters, like, on my computer right now. But where we last left off, to the best of my recollection, it was Mashiro versus Justice Man. Justice Man's sister was beaten up. She was in the crowd, and he screamed to the audience, "Please help her!" And obviously they wouldn't because of the big crowd mentality. All those people, they were there for him theoretically, but they refused to help. And then at the very end of the chapter, Mashiro said, "I surrender. You guys all bet on evil, and evil. I mean, I am evil. That's what I'm taking the swoon here. That's not what it's called, right? I'm taking the fall." So, I mean, is this going to be a whole chapter of just Mashiro killing the entire audience? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, why would you bet your life on the evil? I am something that can't wait to kill you all. I'm evil, so those who bet on my win will all get an execution. Also, I do appreciate whenever a mangaka does something like this, where in the previous chapter, like, we got the shot of Mai looking down, and she had the scary face. And here, like, that is, I believe, it's supposed to be at least the same expression, just from a different angle. So it's not reusing the panels, or it's not, like, reusing even the posing. It's the same thing from a different angle. I love that. And I mean, yeah, fair. Yeah, we'll die either way. She's evil. That is her point. It's so weird. Like, oh, they are so whiny. And I get it. I mean, I'd be upset if I were in that crowd. But at the same time, if I were in that crowd, if I were betting on a blood sport, if I was completely unwilling to help a beaten, bruised, like, teenage girl, then yeah, I'd probably deserve it. I will give you all a final chance. Okay, the last justice execution. So they're all moving around. I guess it's going to be a, like, if you can switch sides if you want to. 3 minutes from now on, the ground you guys are standing on will explode. We spent all the money we've earned so far through DeadTube on these explosives. I mean, I legitimately don't know if this is a bluff or not. Because it does sound absolutely insane. And it does, like, it would fit Mashiro and Machia's MO to just be lying about it, just to screw with everyone, and that would make for good tape. Like, that would be a good DeadTube video if it was just them freaking out. But at the same time, it'd be a much better DeadTube video if the ground actually explodes and kills all these people. Okay, if you pass this ring. So, that's a pretty wild statement. I mean, I joked about it. I do want to say that when I said, maybe she's going to kill them all, I meant that as a joke. I don't think she can actually kill all these men one by one. I mean, maybe it is going to be a social experiment situation in which she kills, 1 or 2 of them, and then the rest refuse to move, even though they could overpower her. But that seems like the herd mentality, the trample mentality, where someone's in a crowd all rushing in one location, and then people just, like, knock them over and start, running on them. Like, that's the thing that happens constantly without any negative malice. Like, I cannot imagine that if all these people were to run through the ring, I can't imagine that Mai could actually kill all of them, or at the very least, not be trampled to death. Oh boy. I mean, yeah, and she is pointing it out. Like, they all should go at once, but, I mean, if she kills enough people, maybe they would just stop. Oh boy. I mean, I think that is what we're going for. That if they were all to continuously go forward, then yes, absolutely, they would be able to trample her. But as long as they refuse to go because they're scared of dying, like, not enough of them will be, they won't be able to hit that threshold. There won't be enough of them to actually, like, overpower her. Oh, strong and beautiful. So this is Mashiro Mai. Oh boy. I don't know if this plan's gonna work. Because, I mean, that's the thing. This isn't a situation where you can bide your time. Like, Mai will absolutely kill you. Okay. Huh. It's an interesting wrinkle to the plan. So I guess it is just going to be they kill all of them. Oh. Okay, so this is actually a pretty fantastic DeadTube video. Because, yeah, like, if they can't scale the walls, if it is a 100% you gotta pass the gates, and now that there's 2 of them, it is way more realistic that they could kill everyone. And if this was the plan from the very beginning, then honestly, I do think Machia is insane enough to like fill the ground with explosives. Especially if the point of this is that, you know, A, they are like DeadTube hunters, but that's not against the DeadTube rules. But B, like if this is a big ploy to become one of those like VIPs, then I mean, you gotta make an amazing video. And this is legitimately an amazing video. Like, I would not support DeadTube IRL. Obviously not. But I do think, like, it has, like, especially because of how fantastical it is. Like, because you've got, you know, them shooting everyone down there, because there's so many people, because they're all wearing masks, it has that fantastical element that I think would, like, enthrall people. Like, watching an actual video of normal human beings in, you know, some foreign country being shot to death. I don't like that. I don't watch gore videos. But like this is insane enough and there's enough spectacle to it that I do think like even normies, you know, to some extent would want to like find DeadTube and watch those videos. Okay. Yeah, 10 people. From now on, we will definitely kill 10 people. Like that is the big thing. Like they can absolutely be overpowered, but like now it is absolutely a death sentence. But yes, if you go up there, you will die. That will happen to at least 10 people. So who's going first? You hypocrites. I mean, to be fair, Justice Man hasn't been doing anything, but these are all people who are like, oh yeah, I hate you, Justice Man. In the end, what will you protect? I do like, by the way, like, assuming this is all a script written by Machia. I mean, not all of it, but assuming, you know, the big beats are written by Machia. This is a way better Justice Man script than anything Justice Man himself has done. Like, Justice Man is, like, I can see why DeadTubers would want to watch his videos. Because there is a, like, ironic elements to it. That, sure, like, he is punishing bad people, and then also, sometimes he punishes good people, but he's got this big hypocritical thing to him where he just does horrible, horrible things in the name of justice. But, like, it's not that interesting. It's not that artistic. Whereas this is, like, there are highs, there are lows. It is really well written in universe. They are watching us and laughing at us. Those garbages. Oh boy. And yeah, like, if no one goes, the ground will explode. Okay, that's it. So, first of all, not a bluff. But secondarily, hot damn. By the way, the cleaning on this looks pretty darn good. I definitely ranked on the series early on, and to be fair, I don't believe that Psychoplay did it earlier on. Let me check. Yeah, like all the early stuff that I used to bag on a lot, that was Kawascans and Yomanga. Whereas I do think this whole arc has been better. I keep on saying it's, you know, the art's rough, but that's because I'm so used to the other ones. I'm pretty sure that Psychoplay's been doing a pretty good job. Like, specifically the texture of the smoke. It looks really, really good. I mean, again, really good, like, thematic moment. That yes, in the end, he was willing to protect his sister. Oh? What he's trying to protect might be something else. Oh. You fucking hypocrites. Also, really big props to the... I don't know if that's a font or if it's actually hand-drawn, but... it's good. What an ending. That is the... Oh no, that's the ending of the chapter. I mean, that's gotta be it, right? That's, like, I mean, of the video itself, right? Though, to be fair, this is a live stream. Like, I did forget until they showed the stream, like, on their phones. Like, yeah, this is being live streamed. DeadTube does have live streaming capability now. So, I don't remember the Kanto region one. I do remember, yeah, the random intersection. We saw that. That was Mashiro. And then, yeah, this incident at the school, obviously. Which was this one? The subject for all these incidents, Justice Man. Wait, really? Or wait. The, was the ring for the Justice Man thing at the building or at the school? Sorry, sorry if I totally just blipped by that. But what? Whoa. Because that does make more sense. I was wondering, like, was there an explosion at the normal school thing? But yeah, I guess. Huh. I mean, has tranquility returned to their lives? Also, I wouldn't say with nothing gained. Like, they want to be bigger DeadTubers so that they can get to the VIPs. And, I mean, this had to have been a success, right? That's also so cool. That, like, yeah, it is an arc that ends with, Mashiro saying, yep, I lose, justice wins. And then you get the big ironic, showing of true justice. So, assuming he is still alive, like, yeah, he would have been stricken out by the rule of, the person who has the lowest ranked view or lowest ranking. Was it? No, it wasn't the worst video. It was, the person who, like, you can put out multiple videos, and at least one of them has to be better than all the rest. The channel that puts out, the worst content overall is the one that, bears the punishments. And yeah, fair. I mean, I would say he's more stupid than pure. Like, purity is a two-faced thing. I do think that's, like, society overall hails being pure as a good thing. Like, yeah, there are losses to it, but overall it's more good than bad. Whereas I would say Justice Man was not pure. Like, he was extremely corrupt, and even if he was being taken advantage of, at the same time, it's pretty bad. Oh, I didn't consider that. I mean, I doubt it. She was a pretty base person, but I wouldn't be against that idea that, she did it specifically to piss him off so that he would, like, he wouldn't grieve over her. But I mean, that only works in the moments. After that point, no matter what, like, they had such a close relationship. He definitely grieved over her, right? Whose sin do you think is heavier between Tenari Mura and Justice Man? Okay, so prior to the fire, she was a more manipulative person. By the way, the proofreading on this is pretty rough. Like, it's not incorrect, but a lot of it is. It feels like the first draft. Like, it feels like it's the translator translated, and then no one really looked to see if it made sense. Like, it's not bad, it's just clunky. Also, how did Machia learn this? Like, where were the records of this? Because, yeah, she did set the fire, most likely to destroy it. But then, like, he wouldn't have interviewed Ten herself, right? Okay, so it was fully... Yeah, like, it was completely her plan, including burning his face. Like, it was all to get around to the point in which he killed the Yakuza man. I mean, I also do think that at that point, like if we go down to the word pure in its, basest meaning of just, someone who has, who isn't good or bad, just completely, clean, blank slate. It does make sense that, yeah, if everything he knew about justice came from her, then of course that would explain, like, the weird sexual stuff too. Like, it all stems from her, teaching him what justice is. Whereas, when he was a kid, of course, he would just know about, like, Sentai hero, very simple justice. So we can't really blame him for how, twisted he became. Okay, just for a little bit. Maybe I can sympathize with him. I think that's healthy. Like, that doesn't mean you have to forgive him, but... Okay. It's no good, making up a story like that. Oh, that's actually a really interesting twist. Like, yeah, as I said, how in the world would he have gotten this information? I mean, Machia is super smart, but then again, like, he's not trustworthy. So I don't know. This might just be that he's taking, like, little bits and pieces of what he saw, and he's creating the most accurate narrative. But I could also see it being that he wants to make a sympathetic narrative, especially if he wants to do a DeadTube video, like, as a retrospective. I don't know how well that would work. Like, I don't know if people are watching DeadTube for, like, long form video essays. But I could see him doing it depending on how he wants to spin the edited footage. Like, assuming that you can do the live stream and then separately do, like, an edited version. But you believe it, don't you? You felt that Ten Arimura's crime was heavier. Despite hating Justice Man, you sympathize with him, don't you? Such things as truth, justice, or evil, those can be easily made up. Also, of course we got the panty shot there. For no reason. Okay. I mean, I can understand his... Like, sure. As someone who is extremely obsessed with, with video specifically, like before, I'd say before the school arc, we didn't get a ton of insight into Machia's, like, insight into the world. We got a bit of it here and there, but it wasn't really a thing we focused on. The main thing that at least that I personally as a reader focused on was Mashiro's weird past, and then, most importantly, whatever the current scenario was. But, like, this doesn't feel like it's coming out of nowhere. I get it. I do think that, like, he's... I don't want to say woke. That's not correct. But he is aware of media influence because he makes media now. Right. Those who killed my sister and those who laughed at that, I won't forgive them. And, like, it is a pretty complicated, like, mindset to hold of, my sister was murdered, and everything, like, this is a horrible, horrible sight, so as a result, I will create content for it. In the end, even if those who laughed were to be killed, people who made fun of that still showed up. It's repeated again. Like, yeah, there's no way to create an ethical DeadTube, inherently. Like, that is, the basis of DeadTube is something that is unethical. So, I'm really hoping the next arc is a, like, let's attack a VIP arc. If we keep on spinning the wheels, I'd be pretty, not upset, but, like, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't be satisfying. Like, Mashiro is pretty crazy, but at the same time, she's usually not wrong. And I mean, I get it. Like, he's doing something that has a bigger meaning to it. Even if it is something that you find attractive, like, it's not necessarily going to get you horny. I've heard that a lot of, like, porn artists fall into that, where they do like what they're doing. It does, like, turn them on, but because they spend, like, 80 hours working on a piece, at some point, it stops being sexy and starts just being, a project. Or it starts just being, like, lines on paper. Or lines digitally. So maybe, like, I hope that we're going to escalate things. But I could also see us doing, like, a small mini arc of, let's get the groove back. Let's just do a personal thing. Let's do a thing that just makes Machia attracted to gore. Even if I'm filming someone's death, I won't get excited ever again. I mean, especially because they are, like, hanging out so much. Like, I don't think that's hyperbole or anything. I do assume she is saying the absolute truth. He does fap to the old videos. I mean, I could see the end game of DeadTube being that like they start running the sites. Depending on how the hierarchy is set up, I could see him, like, I would honestly be really interested in an arc where he tries to make a more ethical DeadTube, because it does seem like there have been so many shifts. Like, it started off pretty static, then we got, like, the whole ranking system where if you're at the very bottom you die. Now we have live streams. Like, I could see there being a lot of turnover in the background, in which case Machia could just slide in and institute a, like, no killing children policy or something. And then that could lead to some pretty bad consequences if it's like, okay, I guess we can only do content of killing old people. If the series ever gets an official English release, I'm pretty sure I said this, like, during her arc, like, during the whole school arc, but I would really like to read all of the, all the background comments, all the scrolling comments. Like, just because they're there. I don't expect any Scanlation group to try and translate all of this, because it's insane. But I'd like to know. Also, pretty curious about the clench. What is this? Like, you would assume it's a sad clench, but... DeadTube is gone. I mean, maybe yay, maybe not. I assume it probably just changed, like, URLs. I cannot tell if Mashiro is acting like this just because she's capitalizing on the opportunity, or did she somehow take down the site? Are you perhaps disappointed that you're unable to film its destruction? Oh, tiny little Twitch. I mean, it has to just be going underground, right? Like, it's insane enough that it was a normal site that you don't have to, like, VPN into, you don't have to use Tor, you just type in an address and you get to go there and anyone can do it and no one talks about it. Okay, 2 months time skip. Oh boy, what is this gonna be? What is this new hell? Nice to meet you. I'm Virtual DeadTuber, Yomiko the Ender. Okay, so I do want to say I didn't bring it up until now, just because I didn't want to accidentally spoil anyone. I have seen the title, like the chapter title, Virtual DeadTuber. So this isn't like freaking me out as much as you might imagine. But I had no context for it. It does seem like this video was sent specifically to him, or maybe maybe it was just sent to everyone who was a DeadTube content creator. Also, pretty basic design. Like, cute, sure, but pretty basic. The only thing that really stands out to me, I mean, obviously, the cat design. I do like cats. But also just the X's to signify death, I assume. Ooh, okay. So yeah, it's not a pre-recorded video at all. I mean, this brings up the big question of, is she a part of DeadTube? Like, was she the, like, normal YouTube has bots and stuff that check to see if they're like people are uploading copyrighted content. Was that what she was, or is she a new thing? Like, was she made by a DeadTuber? Reality show games. What could this be? I mean, is this just going to be Family Feud, but people die? What is this going to be? Because like every arc has been a different genre of film. Or, like, not necessarily a film, but, you know, just a different genre. And I could see a game show, but it's so undead too. I mean, that's kind of what the island was, sort of, vaguely. But even though it was more of a slasher thing, like, there were specific people who were invited to participate. Okay, what's a reality game? Because also, I don't know if this is a real term or if this is just a weirdly translated thing. It's something a game that is broadcasted live through TV. Having said that, for DeadTube to advance even higher. I mean, I don't know the limits of what the series is willing to do. I'm completely down with the concept of it just being a straight-up AI, but to be fair, a lot of what DeadTube has done have been things that make sense. Or, like, if there's something that comes out and I just think, wow, that doesn't make any damn sense, the series usually explains it. We have some weird things here or there, like, you know, big Chungus girl who is obscenely large and maybe some sort of, like, evil experiments? So, like, there are weird things here and there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was, you know, just someone live streaming a video. I mean, very suspicious, but to be fair, that is kind of Mashiro's whole character. Like, I would say, number one, a scary girl who does scary things. Number two, always suspicious. So my immediate thing is she the virtual DeadTuber? I can't imagine that, though. No way. No way. No. It's not that kind of series. Okay, we are even bringing it up, yes. In the end, she was innocent every time. But because we're bringing that up, that feels like this might be the one time where she did go out and buy a dev kit and make an AI. But, like, is this going to be the revival of DeadTube, or is this just, you know, a spin-off thing? Because in the real world, YouTube is, like, financially pretty impossible to do. Like, the only reason YouTube physically works is because Google has such a ridiculous amount of fiber optic cable. Like, because of all that cable, they can push out videos constantly. They can have videos that are just in the pipeline constantly. They can hold all that data and push it out and do it, you know, at a rate that is, like, feasible. Most other companies that try to compete with YouTube can't. Like, they can't handle the amount of content that is generated every day. They can't hold it, like, for free. It is insane. It's the reason why things like Twitch, for instance, like, there are more streaming companies than there are companies trying to do what YouTube does, because streams are surprisingly easier to handle. Just because, like, it is streaming. Because even if you do have VODs, you know, usually they die unless you pay money in order to hold them for longer. And you can restrict the actual, like, amount of bandwidth you're using at any given time by restricting, you know, who gets priority rendering and who just gets, you know, the bad 240p video all the time. This time, you and I can crush DeadTube together. Oh boy. Yeah, we're going to see that he was completely unsatisfied, right? The worst yet, why? I mean, she can't do anything but be suspicious all the time, every day. Takeda. That doesn't sound familiar to me, like in this series. Oof, that is some bad pedagogy. I was about to say, like, there's no way we're doing another high school arc this soon, but to be fair, if I say high school arc as in, the characters are in high school, that's been every arc. I don't think this is going to be another arc that takes place, like, in a school specifically, but... Oh, that's a big oof. Okay, yeah, so it's not even a... I mean, first of all, maybe she's being forced into it. Secondarily, it's definitely bullying. Yeah, that's hell. That's hell. Jesus fucking Christ. And there is no incentive motive to this. This is just straight up bullying. I mean, even DeadTube would not just have a kid kill himself and then just cut away. Like, this has to be plot relevant, but I can't imagine how. I mean, maybe he was a former DeadTuber? I mean, I guess the two paths we can cross now are either he was a former DeadTuber, and then this, like, the AI reinvigorates his interest, and he's like, I'll kill them all. Or, secondarily, he's a complete newbie. He is legitimately a pure person. Pure sounds so weird after last arc. And this is, like, it just... like, the AI is finding people who are extremely pissed off, who could create good content. Okay, yeah, this is going to be the AI, right? 100%. I really like this from the perspective of him being a new character. Like, I was a bit confused when we got the intro into him, but if I do think of this as just the start of a new series, then I can see how, like, first of all, why, like, he would immediately jump at the chance to do this, right? Like, you have a horrible, horrible life. You're constantly being bullied. The person you really like, NTRs you horribly. And then a literal anime character calls you up and says, hey, let's do some killing. I mean, this is also just a more efficient way to get content creators than DeadTube's original thing of just, guess you find it. I mean, guess you find it / maybe it'll get popular at your school. But this seems to be a more, like, laser-focused system of recruiting new content creators. Yomiko. I see. Inside's the thing you want the most right now. I mean, at first I thought maybe it's going to be his bully's head, but it's gotta be just, like, a gun, right? Yeah, it's actually just a straight-up gun. Now let's begin, Shibasaki-kun. You became invincible. Trample down the shitty game that is the society. Oh boy, we live in a society. Also, okay, so he's not going to be a normal content creator. He is, like, playing a game. So he's being recruited as a contestant. Now, I can't find a way to download the next chapter, so we're just gonna do it right here. And by the way, this is why I knew the chapter 45 was called Virtual DeadTuber. Because, like, for the longest time, it can't have just been a 1-month wait, right? I feel like chapter 45 was the only chapter for a long time. To be fair, I wasn't reading it on MangaDex. So it might just be like a different uploady thing. But for the longest time, it was just constantly on 45. And so eventually, my eyes wandered over and I noticed, oh, I guess it's Virtual DeadTuber. That's cool. But chapter 46 is Shooting Murder. Which is, I mean, it's not a subtle answer. It's not a subtle title. I think I know what's going to happen. PLHG. What would that be? And what does PLHG stand for? Because it starts with P and ends with G, my immediate assumption is PUBG, but I don't know how. Because also, that would be very off-brand for DeadTube. Like, DeadTube primarily focuses on, like, different film genres / like, just video genres. So it'd be really weird if they delved really deep into video games for this arc. Like, even with a virtual DeadTuber. Like Kizuna Ai, for instance, the virtual YouTuber Kizuna Ai, she does do like gaming videos and stuff, but all her content is primarily videos. Like she also does music and whatnot, but her main outlet is video. I am actually curious. Like this is an interesting framing device, but I am curious to see like what the new DeadTube looks like. Like, is she an avatar just on the site who directs you to videos? Does she comment on the videos? Like, that could be good to an extent, but if DeadTube turns into America's Funniest Home Videos, it would be like, that would be really rough. I feel like the core DeadTube audience isn't looking for that kind of content. Like, I do think a big part of DeadTube's appeal is the highs and the lows. The fact that sometimes you are just watching a video of some kids doing a prank where they, like, fill a room full of flowers, and it doesn't make any sense, and you're like, well, I guess that was some use of my time? And then you find another video, and it's like 50 dudes killing their teacher. Like, it's high, there's highs and there's lows. Young Shibasaki, show everyone who looks down on you your power! I mean, I love the emojis. And I do like that she is creating this as a script, so I think this would be a video where, she is narrating it, where she is America's Funniest Home Videosing it. Which would also be, like, that would be an interesting divide later on in this arc, where we have Machia talk, like, Machia's filmmaking is very, I wouldn't say hands off, but he's a very traditional director. Like, you get what you want from the video based on what you see in the video. Like, there is no narrator. The director doesn't tell you what's going to happen. He just shows you what is happening in an interesting way that compels you, that makes you realize what's going on. Like, all the Justice Man stuff was so interesting because of that. Because even without seeing the edited version, like, just as a live stream, you could so clearly feel the push and pull of what is justice. Whereas something like this, where there is just a narrator, like, it's so much more base. And I do understand the irony of saying this as someone who is reading manga and then talking about it a whole bunch. Jesus Christ. So he does want to drive him to suicide. What a shitty dude. Shoot him with the gun. I mean, that wouldn't be interesting, but it would be a little satisfying. I mean, I guess I wouldn't really want to do it here, though, because, again, we've already had, like, a big school-based arc. So what is this? What is the PLHG? Is that a knife? What could the L and the H mean? Because PUBG stands for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Oh, H is probably high school. But, I mean, to be fair, PlayerUnknown is just the name of the guy who developed the game. So, it might not be a pun. Also, I'm just not that interested in this being like a school shooter arc, because, I mean, that just happens normally in daily life. Oh, that's oof. That's an outload. Or, how would I put this? It's okay, but it is very, like, tactical high school shooter. Whereas if we were going PUBG with it, I would, I'd want him to be the guy wearing, like, the giant mascot mask or something. I say that, but we have had a character in the series who does wear a mascot costume, so never mind. I guess that wouldn't be that interesting. Oh, it's going to be first person. Now you became an FPS. Okay, so that's how she does her videos. Like, it's not even going to be he does the video and then she talks about it. It's a live stream. Okay, this is actually a super cool concept. Also, I really want to know what these say. Like, I'm curious as to whether she already has a fan base or not. Also, where is she streaming this? Like, if DeadTube is down, is she just doing this on YouTube? There's no way, right? I mean, I assume this wasn't typeset, right? Like, this was probably just written like this before. Yeah, because we got the 8888. I don't know what the ya is. Is ya a Japanese meme? Do let me know. Then you've got coming, come on, yes, booyah. Are these might be typesets. What's with all the yas? But okay, I am way more into this if this is, like, being shot as a FPS. Oh boy! He says a line like in a manga! Oh boy. I mean, the series is absolutely never getting an anime, but I do kind of want to know what she sounds like. I mean, DeadTube has had, like, those promo manga videos where it's just, like, the panels and some sound and stuff. So I'd be into a, like, I guess just, like, a video narrated by her. I mean, even as I say that out loud, I don't really want it. It sounds like it'd be extremely annoying. Also, I think, like, the exciting part of this is that you have this, like, super cartoony anime girl mascots narrating over something that's happening in real life. If it was, like, an actual animated thing, it wouldn't be that interesting, because then that's just Kizuna. This is some bad commentary. I do appreciate the way this is laid out. Like, it's super simple, but I do like that it is, just, like, video screen after video screen. I mean, is it going to be this simple? No, this fucking teacher! I mean, also, you, who was always nice to me. This is the same teacher who said, yeah, I know you're getting bullied, but you gotta be contributing to it somehow, right? Is there a reason why everyone hates you? I mean, I guess this might help just because none of them respect him, even though he's got a gun. I mean, how? Actually, how? I mean, I think this has to imply at the very least that she does have the, like, the power of old DeadTube. Because, like, I was still wondering, like, is this a new startup or is this connected to the original DeadTube? But if this was a startup, like, it's hard enough for a normal, like, real world startup to, get their stuff out there and to get people interested. Like, how in the world do you get an AK-47 into a school? Like, that is some legit DeadTube level, you could just kind of do anything money. Ooh, and she's really egging him on. Like, up until this point, it's felt kind of like, she's just been yelling at the audience, but she hasn't really been controlling him at all. And again, this actually does feel like it's interesting, but it is less craftsman-y than Machia's usual videos. In that, like, Machia doesn't have to really tell Mashiro what to do. He does every once in a while, but usually they plan it out in advance, and then whatever she does is masterfully just, in the moment, she pulls it all off. Also, a game of your last moments of life. So is he going to die at the end of this? Oof. Yeah, so he's just going for it. Also, I mean, it was pretty obviously implied, but yeah, I guess they do just have all the, like, security footage in the school. Which, again, I assume this does run by DeadTube rules, which means that somehow this is all going to be covered up. I don't know how, but they're gonna make it work. And honestly, not a bad line. Like, yeah, he died yesterday. Like, she didn't save him from suicide. He did die, it's just he's going on for one more day. Like, he's in a bonus rounds. Ooh, but also, why? I mean, I guess maybe she was in on it from the start. That's all I can think of. Like, there's no way that she would be victimized and still go for this, right? Jesus fucking Christ. And I mean, the way she's acting makes it feel as if she didn't plan this. So, this is just a real world plot twist. What the fuck? Hot damn. And again, all of this text. I assume everyone is just screaming plot twist. Yeah, so I guess she was in on it. Or at the very least, like, she did like him somehow. God fucking damn. No, Machia, don't you dare say you think this is cool. This Manabu Shibasaki was the old me, when I was on the verge of giving up my life, thinking I don't care about anything anymore. At that time, something I desired from the bottom of my heart was presented in front of me. That was overwhelming violence. In the form of my Mashiro. Okay. Huh. So, honestly, not what I expected his reaction to be. I mean, I guess it, like, if he did hate it just for the sake of, the way it was, he would be acting like a boomer. Whereas what he's doing right now, like, he is accepting that this is art in its own way. And, like, it's not that dissimilar from what happened to him personally. Like, it's DeadTube just in a new form. Okay, and next time a new participant will make an appearance. I will stop here because I do think this is the end of this volume. So, yeah. Interesting, like, direction for the series. Because I still, like, first of all, we don't have an explanation of what PLHG means. But we get the concept, at the very least. Like, it is a... I mean... I guess it's just going to be a series of videos in which people who were victimized get the power to kill the people that victimized them. And I do think, I guess this does have ups and downs in its own way, in the sense that it is live, and it isn't, like, it's a little scripted. Like, he has weapons and stuff, but who knows what's going to happen. Also, I am curious to see, like, is that girl going to come back? Like, is that just a sudden weird twist of fate, or will they be tied deeper into the series in any way? Overall, interesting volume. Like, it was very much a transitory volume. Like, we had we had a chapter of Justice Man. We had a, like, Justice Man cooldown, which I do like. I do appreciate that we get, one cooldown chapter per arc. And now we're going into the, I guess, virtual DeadTuber arc. I mean, I like her. I keep on saying her because I still haven't fully, like, gotten her name down. Yomiko the Ender. I do think that Yomiko is a cool concept. I'm confused as to where Machia goes from here. Because, like, the whole build of the series has been, let's take down DeadTube. But DeadTube seems to be gone now. We don't know if Yomiko is connected to DeadTube itself. And... like, he most likely can't be a VIP now, even if it does come back, because it's been 2 months. He hasn't done anything. Which is good, but it's also bad. It feels like a weird soft reset of sorts. It is a bold move for a series like this to do. Like, it's not that we're not getting the same content. Like, if you like DeadTube, you're still gonna like DeadTube here. But it is a breath of fresh air. And it's a breath that I didn't really expect from the series. I felt like we were kind of getting into a rut, but I thought we'd shake it up by having a big fight the VIPs arc. This is totally out of left field, but in a good way. I don't want to make it sound as if I'm disappointed anyway. Like, I am really excited to see how this shakes out. If this is the new direction of DeadTube, then we are focusing more on, like, on live streams. Which is a bit of a downer. I did really like the fact that Machia was really good at making, edited videos that are really crisp, that are clean. But there's also an art to doing a good live stream. I have understood that now. A lot of, like, the early live streams I used to look at were very, shoddy. But I have seen some really crisp, really cool live streams. There is an art to it. And, oh boy. I guess my only thing is I don't know if she's really a virtual AI or not. I kind of hope not. Like, I would be interested to see if there is a human behind her. And who is that human? Is it a guy? Is it a girl? Like, not that it matters, but I would be curious. And, like, is this connected at all to DeadTube? Or is this, like, an indie thing? Because the series is called DeadTube, I feel like it's gotta be based on DeadTube itself, right? Right? Anyways, I'm kind of just spinning my wheels now. It was really fun to get back into it, and hopefully the rest of Volume 12 will come out relatively soon. I'm not going to jump on it as soon as it comes out, but, like, if it's going to come out more normally, I'll try to do more of DeadTube. And, by the way, thank you all for, like, continuing to comment on the old videos. If it were, like, I've done a lot of videos back in the day, I've uploaded a lot of archives, and for most of those, no one really talks about them, so... not super excited to jump back into them, but DeadTube's always had, like, pretty consistent comments. So, I see you, I know you're there, more content is coming. So, thank you all so much for watching. Bye for now, nya nya.